Are you wearing your slippers of comfort to protect you from the sludge of the sewer on the floor? 18 months ago, there were two prevailing Bitcoin myths that everybody relied on. One, Bitcoin never drops below its 4-year moving average, the 200-week moving average. This was a while ago. And this is super important. I promise you this is super important. You're going to hear this from Mr. Raoul Pal. You're going to hear this from every single macro investor, investee, everybody who's been in Bitcoin, who's been in Ethereum, every single coin, friends, every macro cycle, everything about the S&P 500, everything. I'm telling you, they'll always, all these stories, I promise, you go back in history. You don't have to. I've actually done all the hard work for you, okay? Every time in history, all these times where number go up, number go down, number go up, number go down, there are so many lessons, and they always say the same thing. Like, they say, well, you find out what the biggest prevailing model and narrative is of that time, and then it always gets broken. It always gets destroyed. People believe in these different models and behavior. So one of them that's in our industry is the Bitcoin stock to flow. The Bitcoin stock to flow model basically broke. They had to rechange the model. You know, they said, well, it's only 50K now. But I mean, look, it can still break. It can still happen. Unfortunately, its next prediction is $458,000. So it's about gold's market cap flipping. Ugh, I don't think we're going to get there, friends. I don't think $10 trillion is going to buy Bitcoin. I hope it does, because there's going to be alt season like you wouldn't believe. We're going to go absolutely wild, floppy slippers being thrown in the air, partying naked in the pool, drinking orange juice, 3 ice cubes. If we get, I don't think we're getting that. I want to believe, just diminishing returns. Look at this. Just like visually, okay, visually. Oh, wow, I have my graphics from before. I even have this, see this giant, big fat poopy. Look at this big fat poopy as a reminder, all right? Look at this. Big spike up. A bit of a big spike up. Mildly big spike up. Just on fair value. And like, I don't know why. I'm feeling it. I'm just feeling it. Now, stock to flow got broken. It was the most looked at model in 2021. In 2021, I was not in tune with Twitter. I was not checking Twitter often. I didn't understand that you actually had to be in Twitter. I didn't understand that. But now we do understand. Now we got to feel the crowd with their consent, of course. We've got to be there. And I am there. And I am doing the hard work for you. That's why you like, subscribe, bell button, and you shock that algorithm until everybody gets the point. We are here to win. We are winning. We found each other. What's going on with the Bitcoin pervading narratives right now? Well, Michael Saylor had these two, so the Bitcoin never dropping below its 4-year moving average, which was the 200-week moving average. Well, yeah, that's, we crashed below that. Very unfortunate. So there's one left. There's literally one left. Yeah, and trust me, this is going to get broken somewhere. Think about it. Like, why wouldn't it get broken? Every other one gets broken. Now, of course, people will always say that they know things will get broken, but the million-dollar question is, when? When is it going to get broken? This cycle or 4 cycles from now? Because if you get that part wrong, you're going to be really wrong. But I don't like thinking like that. Why? It makes you too bullish during euphoria. It's a perfect narrative to tell people that, hey, Roca Negra is here. Don't worry, it's fine. Don't worry about the S&P 500. We ain't correlated at all. Woohoo, let's party. It's just too... I just don't like it, friends. That's why I have this here as a reminder. Myth. I've said myth. The 4-letter M word. Bitcoin is always profitable after 4 years of holding. There has never been a 4-year period where you've lost money in Bitcoin. And they actually say this on CNBC now. Michael Saylor, cybernetic hornet's nest, Bitcoin is digital New York. They say that on TV. And I'm like, oh man, here it comes, the Grim Reaper. I can just see it forming. What do? We already know what to do. Play the casino. Join network effects with higher upside growth. Join network effects where there's a strong community or there's a competitive moat. For example, I like Pulsechain and Hex Community and PulseX. I also like Chainlink. Why? Competitive moat. The bug eaters have chosen it. It's used by everybody. There's coins out there. We got to find them. Okay. You can buy Milady NFTs. I don't think they're cheap enough though. Probably going up. Strong community. Super strong. Very controversial. There are these communities out there, but don't think they're just lurking everywhere. They're not. They ain't lurking everywhere. We've got a lot to go through, friends. We're going to make it through it together. So just to remind you, I've got to keep reminding you, if we get a Roca Negra scam, which I pray to God we don't. Remember, there's still a 30% chance it goes up. 30% is not zero. Okay, we fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. 2024 maybe shakes everybody out, and then 2025 is better. Remember, in how I see this playing out, if 2024 is good, 2024 starts here. If 2024 is good, maybe 2025, we're like, woohoo, party. But then, no, finish down. Man, it's going to be a great year if it finishes up. But I don't know. You know what's up, friends. You know what's up. Thrilly Donker, interesting comment. They may decide to play games with the maths to catch the crowd off guard. Yes. So what does he mean by that? You know, like instead of... So we know we're going to get to a certain price point and we might think the trajectory is going to be like this, right? What he means is like either like pump it down harder and then overshoot and then actually come back and crash anyway. Or, you know, this is the trajectory, like pump it up and then go back on trend, pump it down, up and then crash anyway. Like, you know what I mean? This is literally a chaotic market. That's why we've got to think of that one number, that one zone. And he's saying if we see a year 3 sugar pump, remember, in crypto, the only thing people rely on now is 1 red year, 3 green years. 1 red year, 3 green years. That's the only thing they rely on. We just had the 1 red year, 2022. Hopefully, 2023 finishes green. Everybody's expecting the next 2 years to be green. That's what everybody's relying on. Are they positioned for it? Not yet. I know people say to me, hey man, like everybody thinks it's going up. Why don't we go down from now? This is the answer. All right, I'm going to tell you, baby dolls and baby carrots and squirrels. The answer is positioning. Remember I told you there's only one secret. The only secret to markets is positioning. How is the crowd positioned? That's what you got to think about. How's the crowd positioned? That's the actual only secret. There is nobody positioned for the bull yet, on average. Now, I know you're going to say, wait a minute, their targets are big. And they're like talking about buying up. There's a lot of crap, all right? I've seen the data. They ain't positioned for crap. Leverage is low. Stable coins are leaving the market. Everybody's depressed. I'm getting violent abuse. They ain't positioned for poop. They're talking a game just because they're talking. Just because it sounds good. They don't actually believe in it. I'll tell you when they believe in it. It's when they're crucifying me with their pitchforks because I'm telling them, uh-oh, $80,000 Bitcoin is a dangerous zone, friends. That's when they're positioned. When they're leveraged long into 2025, hoping that they can hold their long. So here's 2025, yes. They're hoping that 2025 finishes a full green year. But what if it goes, yeah, see, we started here. Red. That would be the shocker, wouldn't it? Would be a shocker. But you're going to have me to guide you along the way. Here we have Mr. J. Okay. I hope we break the cycle. By the way, Mr. 3D Donker as well. I hope we break the cycle too. Mr. 3D Donker mentioned, you know, we could get a year 4 wasteland and a year 5 recovery. Yes. These types of cycles, it really does depend on the crowd's positioning. And there's another thing that we have to remember. It's possible that even though Bitcoin might have jittery shakes, it's possible that there are altcoin seasons in this time. So when you look at it from the surface, if you look at all of it as a total market cap distribution of money, there is activity going on which resembles 2017 and 2021. It's just that it's not reflected exactly in the Bitcoin price. How do I know this? Well, this happened in 2021. Did you know NFTs were still rallying up to here? You know this period? As crypto crashed, meme coins are still rallying. You know Doodles? Literal Doodles? Here they are now. Doodles. This is a famous art that everybody tried to copy. If you click on activity, you can actually see something amazing. Now, this blew my mind. Doodles rallied 2022 all the way. Oh my gosh. Look how much. They were still rallying. Oh my lord. They were still rallying until July. What? Is this real? No, it's actually real. How the hell were you guys rallying in July of 2022? This defied gravity. Oh my gosh. I am shocked. Think about it, friends. We were like dead. We were dead and these guys kept pumping. Now you know why. Unfortunately, retail, they've been obliterated minus 99.9%. So when euphoria is allowed to go on for too long, people feed the snowball and they feed the frenzy so much that when the reset comes, the elastic band pullback is too big. So this is fair value. So if it's allowed to go up too high, the drop downwards is very painful and long like this. And then unfortunately, we even undershoot like now. You see that? But see, if the bubble was only able to go here, then guess what? Then like it's not as painful. You see that distance? And we can come back up. This second one, this is more what we are in altcoins right now. We're getting crappier. But this giant mammoth one, this is actually the NFT market. This was NFTs. How do I know that? You can tell. I mean, why were you as a JPEG rallying as the world economy was crashing? As Rolex watches and every other like store of value, which like remote store of value was even going down. As a JPEG. And that's how you know you're on the right path. I want to finish off this comment, friends. Twitter tried to hide this wonderful comment from me from Infomatech. And I liked it. Look at this. From P2P cash to digital gold, Bitcoin has changed its narrative to imply that it's simply becoming a store of wealth, not for making it grow. You know what I say to that? Correct. But you know what else I say to that? Boring. Come and store your wealth. You know what? You're not even really storing that much wealth because the stock market has done better than Bitcoin because, you know, the stocks don't drop 80%, right? So we got a long way to go, man. Like we better start doing those parabolic pumps. I don't know if we can be able to do it. They finally got Rockeneger in to cap the rallies. It's dangerous. We're not as good as you think, friends. In Bitcoin, they do the 10-year return. No one got in 10 years ago. Habib, no one got in 10 years ago. You're in from 2, 3, 4 years ago. That's the only return that matters to you. And it's been diminishing. Keep your back straight, please. If you've only been recently interested in Bitcoin and didn't accumulate your Bitcoin before 2017, this means you are just the exit liquidity who did before. True, true, true. Even though we don't like to admit it. The gains are gone. Bitcoin is useful for second or third world countries where they have a nasty habit of obliterating the purchasing power of the poor and the middle class. For example, Argentina, who have an interest rate of 118%. Yes, it's true. Yes, look it up. That's where it's useful. All right. It's not useful for Australia, Dirt Island, us, or Canada, or America. We're going to be all right. We're in the first world countries, man. We're lucky. Our governments, they know how to scam everyone properly. The second and third world countries don't. They scam too aggressively. And it's not their fault. They weren't born in countries with high GDP. The snowball wasn't just enough around. That's what it is. So at least they have an alternative. Mr. Infomatech continues. The same people who constantly disdain altcoins, they're constantly colluding with repressive authorities and pretend it's for the common good. But in reality, they're just very, very rich seals in a dominant position protecting their investment. Very 100% true. 100% true. I give you 4 ticks of friendship and kindness and wisdom right here. 100% true. Yes. Look, I like Max Kaiser, but he bought it at $1. He bought Bitcoin at $1, man. Like this, you know what I mean? It's just like saying, oh, I don't like Richard Hart because he was given the 90,000 Ethereum. Yeah, well, dude, they bought earlier than us. Every single hero you know, they bought earlier than you. I'm not saying to hate them. I'm just telling you, replace the name and replace the coin. And what would you be saying? You'd be saying they're shitting their bags. Yes, they're shitting their bags. That's it. Be honest. Replace the name and replace the ticker. Okay, it's not Bitcoin. It's Johnson & Johnson shares. It's not Max Kaiser. It's Joe Blow. He's 20,000x on side. You know it's true. The only way for the average guy would be to gamble on an undervalued alt but with a great potential. That's what it is. I'll do this hard work for you. Yes, I know you got to suck it up. I don't like all the deep value depression stuff, but hey, I want to win. So I don't really care about like people yelling at us on Twitter because the chart doesn't lie at the end. When there's a big turnaround and elastic band shoot up, no one's going to say, oh, golly gee, like, you know, do you feel good about all the times I sent you nice messages for all those 2 years? No. You're just going to look at your portfolio and the number. You know that's the only thing that matters at the end. Yes, you will be mocked and attacked by Bitcoin maxis, just as they used to be bullied before by gold maxis and boomers who only swore by the stock market. 100% true. The technology is actually, the cycle's moving very fast. You know, a lot of us thought that this Bitcoin cycle would have happened in like 2040. I'm just shocked that by 2023, everybody's figured out already the diminishing gains. It is what it is. By the way, it's a very cool road jack. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next one.